Alright dickheads, let's do some fractional indices with a technique I like to call flower power.
First of all, you just need to know that power of a half means square root, power of a third means cube root, and power of a quarter means fourth root. Just fucking remember it, yeah? But when you've got a dickhead like this, we think of flower power. Now, let's think of a flower. What's below the surface? The roots. And what's above the surface? The flower. Flower rhymes with power. So above is the power, and below is the root. That gives us the cube root of x squared. So let's try it with a real number. We've got the root underneath and the flower power on top. Cube root of 8 squared. It's probably easier to do the root first because it makes it a smaller number that you can then put a power to. So the cube root of 8 is 2. 2 squared is 4. Done! It looks like a dickhead, but he's not that bad. So let's remember our flower power. Root on the bottom, flower power on the top. So that's a square root cubed. So we square root the top and bottom, and then we're going to cube the answer. When we're cubing a fraction, we just cube the top and the bottom separately to get 3 cubed, 27, 2 cubed, 8. There you go. So let's do another one of these dickheads. 8 over 27 to the 2/3. That's the root, that's the power. Cube root to the power of 2, cube root 8, cube root 27 separately. We get 2 over 3 squared is 4 over 9. 2 squared, 3 squared, 4, 9. Done! So if you've seen my TikTok video, you'll know that negative indices flip a number upside down. So let's do some combined fractional and negative indices. So the first thing I always like to deal with is the actual negative power here. So that flips this number upside down, but the numerical value of the power will stay exactly the same. So this fucker becomes 16 over 25 to the power of a half. And as we know, using flower power, the number on the bottom is the root. Okay, now. So that means it's going to be a square root of these. So we square root these separately. That becomes 4 over 5. Right, let's have a go at this prick. So first thing we like to deal with is the negative. All that's going to do is flip this upside down, but the numerical power is going to stay the same. So that becomes 8 over 27 to the power of 2/3. Nice and easy so far. Then we're going to use flower power to do the cube root squared of this. So let's cube root them first. Cube root of 8, well, that's 2, because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And cube root of 27 is 3, because 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. But these things still need to be squared. Squaring a fraction, relatively easy. Square the top, square the bottom. 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9. Done! Something like this can seem fucking horrible, but here's how we do it. First of all, we want to combine these two numbers. Leave this 10 to the power of 12 for a second. So that will become root 16, fourth root of 16, times 10 to the 12. Now, because these two numbers are times, we can actually split this root and get the fourth root of 16 times the fourth root of 10 to the 12. Fourth root of 16, we just got to know that that's 2, because 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. And then the fourth root, if we reverse flower power, is the same as 10 to the 12 to the quarter. And if we remember our rules of indices here, powers either side of a bracket times 12 times a quarter. Well, that's the same as 12 divided by 4, which is 3. So the final answer should be 2 times 10 to the 3. 10 to the power of 3 is 1,000. 2 times 1,000 equals 2,000. Oh yeah.